say the top three, give me an idea of the trickiest things for the English learner, because you also do Russian tutoring. So you kind of have an idea like what are our problems, what would be our problems, but
Mhm.
what do you think from the other perspective of the English learner? What do you think are some of like just the problems that there is in that language particular?
Yeah. I think probably the accent and some of the sounds, because for example in Russia we don't have a lot of sounds like the or I don't know like in cat, right? We don't have any of these sounds, so
Mm,
it might be pretty hard. And like if a person really wants to have a good English, they want to work on your accent, and this is something they really need to work on all of those different sounds. And this is something that I'm still working on because it's still sometimes it's still too hard for me to remember where to say sit or seat, for example, right? It's just like, yeah, these sounds are different. Um, Probably, I mean, I understand that the grammar is difficult, but for example, in Russian, the grammar is even more difficult. So I can't say that in English it's like so
right.
complicated. It is complicated, but compared to French, for example, or Russian, it's fine. Like you can learn it. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. I always think that, well, compared to Spanish, like Spanish is much more complicated grammatically than
Yeah.
English, but Russian is even more. And,
Yeah.
you can imagine for being Romance languages, French and Spanish are fairly similar in that aspect of how conjugations are and some
Hmm.
just aspects of the grammar. English, I mean, of course, I can see where it would have some challenges, and I've actually seen it as a teacher myself.
Yeah.
If I were to say like probably a grammar point that is like that's maybe like first or second day English, but like students will constantly misuse, and I don't mean this in a kind of like a looking down way whatsoever, is just the idea of like, let's say simple versus continuous. Like, for example, things that you do generally where you
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
the present simple, like they'll say like ing basically, right?
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
noticed that?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
That's teacher to teacher. Anyway,
Hmm.
back to on topic. So, in the language learning community, there is this kind of just this lingering idea of like, how do you go about accents, or how important is accent in the language, right?
Hmm.
So it's something that I have my ideas on. Um, English is actually different in the way that it is an international language. Maybe no, not maybe. It is the most international language. So there's different kind of characteristics in it, and maybe my ideas would change a little. But how do you think? What do you think about this? How important is accent in relating to English?